Okay, so very cool. We got some Pokemon displayed on screen. Let's find a way to get them off screen and just kind of clear the database out a little bit. In order to do that, go ahead and navigate to the main JS on your server inside of PokeServer, and we're just going to add in another method. So just put a comma after that right there. I'm going to space this out a little bit. Put a comma right there, and we can start adding in our next method right down here. I'm going to call this Pokemon.subtract. And we're going to declare a function here. We're going to be passing in the value of the Pokemon we want to get rid of. And then I'm going to say var user is equal to this dot user ID. Again, I want to make it so that if you're not signed in, if there's no user, you're not allowed to do anything to our database. You're not allowed to access these functions. So we could say user not signed in again. And then, oops. And then we'll just return right here. Now down here, all we got to do is return Pokemon.remove. It's pretty easy to remove things from the database in MongoDB. Just call the collection and then say remove, and then pass in whatever you're trying to remove. Now this X value, I'll show you exactly how this is going to work on the front end. But for now, just save the main JS, and then jump back up to the Pokemap. And how we're going to be doing this is maybe not the coolest way to do it. Maybe you'd want to click on the Pokemon and then that Pokemon goes away. But I'm not going to give you what you want. You can learn, or you can try that out yourself. But for this, I just want you to learn how to remove some item from the database. So we're going to declare a function. We'll call this remove Pokemon up here, right below the add Pokemon. Make this an ES6 arrow function, just like this. I'm going to turn down my computer lighting a little bit just because it's getting hot. That's what I get for doing all this on my MacBook. So inside of remove Pokemon, basically in here we're going to be making that meteor call, right? So similar to how we did the add Pokemon, and we're going to be targeting that Pokemon.subtract, which we just wrote on the back end there. And we need to pass in some item, right? I'll just call this remove for right now. And then I'm just trying to set up this remove Pokemon. So pass in an error and a resolution, just like we have above, just so we can console log this. If something goes wrong, we can diagnose the problem. Remove function error res. We'll see whatever's going on. And then we can handle it as needed. So what we're going to do inside this remove Pokemon, like I said, it's kind of cheap, but we're just going to check and see if whatever. So here, let me explain this with XDE here. So we have these arrays coming back, right, which have a bunch of Pokemon in them. So we got an array coming from the Meteor server, and it's got Charizard and whatever that is, and Omanite, and Mewtwo, and so on, right? This is an array. So we can just access this array and then take out the last Pokemon in that array, or maybe the first Pokemon in that array or something, and they'll just all get pulled off screen. So put up my simulator there, Sublime Text. Right up here, I'm going to first check if there's no Pokemon in the array, because we don't want to run the remove function if there's nothing there. It's just not gonna, it's not gonna help us at all. So this .props.pokemon.length, if it's equal to 0, then just return. Otherwise, we're going to declare the remove variable, which we have right there, and we'll say this is equal to this.props.pokemon. We want the first value in that array, and we want the ID of that Pokemon in that array. So we're really looking for this value right here. So that way I'm going to save this, and this remove variable, which has the ID of the Pokemon, is going to get sent over to the Pokemon subtract as X, and it's going to say Pokemon.remove X, and it's going to find that ID for the Pokemon in the database and remove that Pokemon. Now this is not going to quite work yet. I have to add this onto my fab here. I'm going to space this out. Hopefully my laptop fan is not bothering you too much. And I'm going to say on press, this is equal to this dot remove Pokemon. Save it up. And then now if I start hitting that minus button, you'll see the Pokemon are dropping off screen, right? And including the ones down here. Sorry guys, gotta go. Okay, so now they're all gone, but you know, it's fine because I could just easily add them back in. I'm gonna try and get like a ton of them real quick. Now notice like every time I hit the plus button, they're automatically popping up. Like I don't have to make like another call to the server and another one and another one and another one. This is all happening with the magic of Meteor Subscribe. Meteor, like I said, is a real-time database, so I guess we are kind of taking advantage of it a little bit. In that anytime we make a, we add to the collection, the database is going to, say like, okay, well, this collection was added to, should we return some new data back? And then if yes, it's going to, and it's going to return, the next Pokemon back to React Native. And then because React is pretty responsive, and because we have that real-time database, it automatically refreshes and adds that Pokemon in. So I'm going to keep adding some more Pokemon on here. I'll see you guys in the next video, and we'll talk about a couple more things having to do with the login system, and then we'll wrap up. See you then.